What's going on, guys? Over here. Welcome back to another episode of my F1 2016 Career Mode, episode number 10 today for the British Grand Prix. As you can see, yet again, like last episode, a team has chosen to do 3 upgrades in one go here. This time it's Renault F1. So let me know in the comments below, guys, if you see that quite a lot in your Career Mode, and just generally what your field is looking like in terms of the pecking order. Because I think mine's pretty kind of like tailored to the real life almost, apart from maybe Williams overtaking Red Bull there on the right hand side. But mine's very bog standard almost, apart from maybe also Force India dropping down the order. So let me know about that in the comments below. But in terms of our upgrades, obviously we're still saving up for that second engine upgrade, which costs about 900 resource points. We got 755 there, so we could be going over 1,000 points by the end of the episode, and then purchasing that second engine upgrade, which would be quite cool to go over 1,000 for the first time. But of course, then we're spending most of it on the engine, and then if there's some left over, we'll see if we have enough to maybe afford another upgrade. Hopefully, maybe a downforce or a drag reduction one. But we move on to practice, and I'll talk you through what happened there. So FP1 started off in the wet, so didn't really do too much running. Obviously, it's not ideal to do stuff like track acclimatization and qualifying pace in the wet, unless you maybe know that it's going to be a wet qualifying in terms of the qualifying program, but it wasn't going to be. And then the only kind of major thing happened in FP2 was this extraordinary crash into the pit wall there, where I got chucked up and lost my wheel on the right hand side. But then we pretty much did our box standard laps, got through the track acclimatization and the qualifying pace, and got some good R&D points there, and then moved forward to qualifying. I was feeling pretty good. I think we got about P9 in practice it was, so I expect us to be around there. It looks like Williams have made a huge step forward, and Red Bull is still very strong. Even though they might be behind Williams in a little pecking order chart, they're still very strong. So P9 was maybe a whereabouts I probably thought we were going to be. Obviously, we'll see how we do in qualifying. So we move on to Q2. Again, thankfully, Q1 was all but a formality once more, so it's nice to get away from that, from the nightmare we had at Baku, where we were hoping to maybe get into Q2, but there's a formality here once again. So you join us on a lap midway through. You can see the absolute amazing British weather right now in Q2, very overcast. It's the same thing for Q1, so when qualifying actually started, I first thought we might be seeing some inters by Q2, but it's staying dry here, and we've gone obviously purple as it's our first flying lap. Come across the line, it's going to be P2 at the moment, but as people set their lap times, Vettel goes fastest now. We go down the order, and we just about make it into Q3 actually in 8th place. But you can see, crucially, people around us on medium tyres, the likes of Kimi Raikkonen doing a really great job on the mediums to qualify there. That means Kimi and Hamilton and Verstappen will all start on the medium tyre for the race ahead. So they've done their work there on the strategy. I felt that we could just start on the soft tyres. I didn't really feel like we could get into Q3 on mediums, and I was probably proven wrong, right there by that by the lap times those guys were doing on the mediums. And also the strategy in terms of starting on the mediums, I didn't think it would be that helpful really. I think here at Silverstone we'd be better off starting on the soft. So you come towards our end of our Q3 lap. At the moment we haven't set a lap time, so we're down here P10. Hopefully it can be something better than that. Our teammate did not make it into Q3, so just to try best we can for our sole Mclaren, and we're up into 7th place at the moment, and that's where it's actually going to end, ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Felipe Massa, so both Williams there. So pretty good, because obviously Williams are ahead of Red Bull in the standings, which is kind of odd to me. That actually brings up a good point, that even though Williams are ahead of Red Bull in the standings, in the vehicle performance, they're still not performing as well as Red Bull consistently. So just a little thing to note, maybe not as a kind of factual as it is on the chart there. We can see Romain Grosjean did really well to get in 10th, so that's good for him. But 7th place, really solid for us, and looking forward to what will be obviously our home Grand Prix. Looking forward to a good race, hopefully a load of points compared to last one out, and hopefully the rain can stay away, because I've had enough of the rain, frankly. So let's go to the grid for the British Grand Prix. Right, so as usual, looking ahead to the strategy of the race, we're going to go for, I think, the 3-stop for this race. And you can see I changed the way the 3-stop worked quite a bit. So we're fast-forwarding because I did quite a lot of changes. It was initially going to be soft, soft, and then 2 mediums. But I switched that around, put the 2 mediums in the middle, just because it could mirror the 2-stop you could see up there with the soft, the medium, and the hard. So if I wanted to go to the 2-stop, it's still viable. I thought that would be the better option because I just don't know. But I felt like perhaps being a bit more aggressive in this race with the strategy and kind of going for the 3-stop and trying to make up that time that we lose with 1 extra pit stop. But I want to leave myself a bit of leeway because you just never know what will happen in the race. So that's why we changed it that way around and put 2 mediums to start off with after our first stint. But you can see as we line up on the grid, the resource points were over 1,000 now, which is pretty damn sweet to actually see. Pretty nice to look at. But obviously we're spending about 900 on those on the brand new engine for the next race. We've beat Danica Fiat already on the rivalry. Pretty damn good, and has been the case for quite some time now. Our team are very, very happy with us. 10 out of 10, first ride position, all 3 objectives met in qualifying. So we go ahead to the race for the British Grand Prix, my home Grand Prix, to 5 red lights here at Silverstone. Dump the clutch and we're underway. Verstappen and Raikkonen get a poor start, both of them on the medium tyres though, remember, so that's probably to be expected. We're going to go into turn 1, potentially up into 5th place. Yes, we do through turn 1, and we're going to follow behind Nico Rosberg now. But as probably expected, Raikkonen and Verstappen getting a poor start there, being on the slower tyre. Massa also jumps Raikkonen and Verstappen, so he also did the double jump, so very, very much expected there. Surprisingly, Lewis Hamilton didn't lose too much time, but he is obviously in that very good Mercedes car. So we now go down towards Luffield and Brooklands. Rosberg's going to have a look at Daniel Ricciardo, gets in the slipstream, moves to the left-hand side, down the inside of Brooklands. They go side by side. That's going to lose them some time actually battling, so we might have a little bit of a look here through Luffield. They're still side by side. Vettel also having a look at Hamilton for the lead of this Grand Prix, but look at that. Ricciardo really squeezed Rosberg off, and he's lost a huge amount of momentum there. And so now we go around the outside. Is Rosberg going to lose the room? Yes, he does, but we get pinched in by Ricciardo, and Rosberg get boxed in literally there on the outside of the circuit, but now through Copse, and we just swoop around the outside of Rosberg, get a run on Daniel Ricciardo, beautiful run into Maggots and Beckett, and we're up into 3rd place of the British Grand Prix. The home crowd probably cheering their hearts out as they see Lewis Hamilton in the lead, and we're up into 3rd. Vettel though fighting Hamilton. Oh, he's got it down the inside through the final corner. Sebastian Vettel, he pushes Hamilton off the circuit a little bit, and Vettel's up into the lead of the British Grand Prix. What drama there, bit of argy-bargy with Vettel and Hamilton, and they lose a heap of time through the first corner, and they're going slowly. We go around the outside, we're leading the British Grand Prix. What on earth is going on with these AI cars? They love to have a scrap and lose so much time battling each other, but Vettel loses no time to come back at me through Brooklyn, side by side through Luffield now on lap 2, and he's going to try and hang it around the outside. We're going to try our best, but he's going to have the superior traction, I think, and the superior downforce. For now, we've got it, but he's going to get in the slipstream, and eventually that Ferrari engine will just show its legs on the Honda. Look at that, Vettel right round the outside, swooping left, but he's got to hold it round the outside of Copse. He doesn't manage it, and actually Rosberg goes down the inside, and Hamilton as well, and Vettel loses 2 positions there, trying to get 1 for first place, and now Hamilton is the one right behind me. Move on to the end of the next straight towards Stowe, and the 2 Mercedes on the left-hand side, both battling away side by side through their lovely action. They make contact. Hamilton makes a bit of contact with Rosberg's front right. I think Rosberg's lost a bit of time there. Yellow flags for something, but we're in 2nd now at the moment after Rosberg slowed down quite a bit there, and Hamilton once again leads his home Grand Prix through the final corner, and we're still in 2nd, but Rosberg's going to be right up our shuff here. DRS is enabled, but Rosberg's going to have a look down the inside. We'll leave him in the room, go a little bit wide, a little bit off the circuit to leave him enough room. He's still side by side with us, but we'll just squeeze him out, maybe going into the village section, and he'll touch the side of Sebastian Vettel. So Rosberg and Vettel all getting in the wars here, but Rosberg's done a beautiful switchback on us as we go deep into that second part of village, and he's back into 2nd place. So yeah, quite a lot of aggression from the AI here. It's nice to see through village, and then Vettel now is going to make a move on me. I wonder, will he dive bomb Rosberg? Probably not. Into Brooklands though, he's going to try his best, but he maybe just backs out a little bit as we have the better line, have the superior line through Luffield then, and we stay in 3rd place. But Rosberg is looking like he's maybe getting away. We get some good traction here though, so potentially maybe a move into Copse, potentially slipstreaming in. Can we make a move? We swoop to the right, trying to make a move down the inside. He's going to leave the rest of the room. Yes, he does, and we do get it, and he's lost a heap of time there, and that has just lost him the podium position, because Vettel now is in 3rd, and he'll slipstream us, and now he's going to overtake us once more. So just a lot of overtaking. It's only been the first 3 laps, and there's been so much action already. A lot like Austria, but Vettel's now up into 2nd. Yellow flags again and I see there's a few cars going slowly through Stowe. Yellow flags for that entire section. Wonder what's happened there, as Rosberg now onto the very next lap through Brooklands gets me. We do this switchback line though and try and fight him, but I'm not going to fight him too much because at this point I'm kind of wary of my tyres going off. So I don't want to fight him too much. So he swoops around, gets the place. I'm just going to try and tuck in, get the slipstream, but I kind of don't want to fight these guys any longer. It was nice to have a little battle for the first 3 laps, but to be honest, I need to make sure I'm doing my own race here. So down towards Stowe now on the end of the lap, and Ricciardo, and I think that's Bottas going round the outside trying to make a sandwich out of my McLaren, but it's not going to work there. We keep it in 4th. I nearly follow Rosberg mistakenly into the pits, but I realise he's pitting. I want to go a lot longer in the Grand Prix so far because I have a feeling after those opening laps, I have a feeling like maybe the 2-stop might be the better option, 7-3. But now here comes Daniel Ricciardo down the inside of us into Copse. He gets the place very easily because we lose a lot of time, probably going down 1 more gear than I actually wanted to. And so we're back down to 4th at the moment, onto lap 6. You can see it's now me and Bottas fighting for 2nd place as we've got a lot of people ahead of us pitting, including Ricciardo and the likes of Vettel. Obviously Hamilton going longer on the medium tyres, but Bottas on the softs going long with me, whereas his teammate is already pit, I think. So into Brooklands, we tried to maybe come back at Bottas. He does really well, to be fair, to park the bus there into Brooklands, and then onto the following section through Stowe. It's time to maybe come into the pits. I think we're going to follow Bottas in, and you can see there was a car on my left-hand side. That was actually Kimi Räikkönen, who is somehow had a huge accident, and he's actually a lap down, so I'm not too sure what happened there, and unfortunately I forgot to catch a replay of that, so I apologise for not being able to show you guys what actually happened with Räikkönen, but for some reason he's down in 22nd place, but I just completely forgot to actually check it on the replay cameras after the race ended. But we're into the pits now, Bottas is as well, and we're going on to the medium tyres. Now, I mentioned at the start that we could maybe do a 2-stop, maybe a 3. I've set up the strategy that way where we can choose and pick, and to be honest, at this point in the Grand Prix, we can still flip between the 2 and the 3-stop. I'm not too sure at the moment. We did get held up there a little bit. You can see I had to hold for the Manukar, so that you can see physically the gap between me and Bottas a bit bigger, unfortunately. So we lost maybe about, I'd say like 9/10 there. As you can see, there's so many cars in the pits on that lap. So we come out, and we'll come out with a bit of a gap to Bottas, unfortunately, and just ahead of Romain Grosjean in a Haas car, who's on, I believe those are medium tyres from the start of the race, I think. But he's looking pretty punchy for 7-lap-old medium tyres, because literally on the same lap, down towards Brooklands, Grosjean makes a move down the inside. We go side by side, so he's really going for it, trying to make a move. We're just trying to wait for our tyres to heat up, but at the moment, while they're still a bit cold, Grosjean can make a move, and he's got DRS now onto the back straight towards Stowe, so he's going to try it again. I tried to squeeze him down on the outside, but he's having none of it. He tries it around the outside, so fair play to Grosjean. He tries his best, but eventually, right about now, our tyres start to finally rubber in. I'm feeling a little bit better towards the end of the lap, and now we can push on and kind of get away from him. So we move later on into the Grand Prix, lap 11 now at the moment. You can see we're in P7. Massa up ahead of us, being overtaken by Räikkönen. Räikkönen being lapped. The Räikkönen who was lapped is doing a Hamilton of 2012, if you remember. Hamilton was lapped and overtook Fernando Alonso and Vettel and tried to get in their fight even though he was lapped. And that's the same thing Räikkönen's doing here, kind of holding up Massa, an absolute treat here, and that's allowed us to gain on him. Obviously, Massa making a very early pit stop, and so towards Copse, Räikkönen on the apex of the corner is going to block off Massa, give him a lot of dirty airs, really slows him down, and we swoop through up into 6th place. So Räikkönen really making our lives very, very easy there. So, you know, he wasn't really going to do much in the Grand Prix. He's 22nd place. He's not going to get any points, so the least he could do was help our race out, I guess. So we cut later on, much later into the Grand Prix now. We're in P4, as I believe at least a few people have made some pit stops ahead of us. We're on lap 15 now, so 4 laps later. You can see there on the right-hand side, hopefully, you saw the front left was very worn, 71%. So it's probably time to nearly think about coming in for a pit stop, because I've never really ventured into the 70% mark of tyre wear. Usually I pit around around 50% to 60% wear, and then on the bottom right there you can see I confirmed to keep on the 2-stop strategy now, as my team thought maybe it's still going to be viable to do the 3-stop, but I wanted to see if we could maybe eke this out. We've got 11 laps left in the Grand Prix. If we go on to the mediums and then maybe do some work and maybe try and stretch them a little bit, potentially we could go to the end on a set of mediums and do a 2-stop like that, and basically completely avoid the hard tyres, because I was feeling good about it. But at the same time, I'll also leave our 3-stop available, because if we're on the mediums, we might have to go to the soft. So it leaves that open for us today. To be honest, I'm not too sure, even at this point in the Grand Prix, who we're really racing, because the Williams cars look pretty good at the beginning, and they're not too far behind us, and it looks like they might be doing something very different to me in terms of whatever I'm doing. They're doing the opposite in terms of a 2-stop to 3-stop, so I'm not too sure if I'm even racing the Williams cars. There might be cars behind them that I'm racing, but onto lap 11, onto lap 18 I should say anyway, you can see people around us on the top left all on hard tyres, so I'm pretty much the only runner at the moment on mediums, and we bang in our fastest lap of the Grand Prix on towards lap 19, which I was pretty damn chuffed about and really surprised about, but I guess everyone being on hard tyres are not able to set a fast enough lap time to match mine on the medium tyres. And then literally on the end of that lap, going on towards lap 20 now, my engineer told me about some yellow flags up ahead in an incident. As we come through, we can see someone on the pits, not too sure who that is. I thought that might have been to do with the incident, but it's not, because we stay in 5th place, so that's not someone who's crashed. But there's yellow flags now. As we come up, we see one Nico Rosberg without a front wing. So Nico has been in the wars. He was very aggressive earlier on in the Grand Prix with Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo, and so now somehow he's had a crash and he's going very slowly. So let's take a look at what's going to happen there. So we've got Rosberg here coming down the back straight towards Stowe. It's all looking pretty normal at the moment, so I'm not too sure what's actually going to happen here. We got Ricciardo, I think that is, behind him, and then I think a Ferrari of, who is this? Is this Vettel? Oh, Jesus! So Rosberg smashes into the Ferrari. I'm pretty sure that's Kimi Raikkonen's helmet, and he loses his front wing. And oh, okay, so this is why Raikkonen's got a puncher somehow. So his race went from worse to worse from 22nd place. He got a puncher, and then he completely just parked it there. Well, I guess Rosberg also should have been a bit more clever to kind of go and navigate Raikkonen, but he was right on the edge of the pit lane. And then on towards lap 21, as we cut back to our POV, you can see Sergio Perez out of the race. Virtual safety car has been called, and unfortunately, once again, I forgot to actually get the replay camera of Sergio Perez, unfortunately, but we do have a virtual safety car anyway. It's not going to go on for too long, because by the time we get to cops of the same lap, virtual safety cars ended, so I'm guessing it was not a very big incident with Sergio Perez. Must have been a case of just him retiring and pulling up somewhere on the track where it triggered the virtual safety car. So we haven't seen a virtual safety car for a while there, so yeah, I mean, still a little bit getting used to it. It's very tricky to actually keep on the delta time. But anyway, now we move on to lap 23, and you can see here we are telling our engineer on the bottom right there that we want to keep onto the 2-stop strategy, because he again asked me for the 3-stop, but as I came through this final corner, I started to think, okay, there might be a reason why he's asking me to do the 3-stop. Maybe my engineer thinks that I'm going to get a puncher at some point on this 2-stop. I mean, we haven't really been saving the tyres too much. I've been trying to keep ahead of Massa by the about 5-second buffer we've got, and so by lap 24, we come in. I want to play it safe, because you just never know when we're going to get a puncher. And actually, you know what? We got a puncher literally coming into the pits. Literally, as we locked up there coming to pits, we got the puncher that we might have got if we continued on. So I kind of heeded caution what my engineer was saying. It really felt like he wanted me to go into the 3-stop, because I didn't show you guys, but as we went through that next lap, my engineer asked me a further 2 times if I wanted to go onto the soft tyre. So I thought, okay, the game's clearly trying to indicate to me that I should definitely do the 3-stop just to save my race here. So we went to the soft tyres. Unfortunately, we're going to lose the position to Massa, but we did come out in 5th place ahead of Bottas. So we're going to come through for, I still think, a brilliant 5th place, to be honest, here at our home Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix, but we come home in a very awesome 5th place for our home Grand Prix. Really happy with that. And considering what happened earlier on in the race, we dropped off a little bit on the medium tyres, and also considering we could have definitely had a puncher there, I think it's kind of a saving grace that we still got 5th, because it could have been worse. It could have been like, out of the points completely if we did get the puncher. But yet again, Hamilton wins the race here, and that's probably going to get him the lead of the championship at the moment. You can see Sebastian Vettel in 2nd, Ricciardo 3rd after that incident with Rosberg. So Rosberg again bottles it and doesn't even get points, I don't think. I don't think he even recovered from that crash he had. So doesn't even get a podium, doesn't get any points. Yeah, there you go. Rosberg out of the points. So once again, living up to his real-life counterpart and bottling it once more. So Massa, 4th place. We're in 5th, so I'm still, as I said, pretty happy with that. Jensen comes home in 10th, so pretty good. Kevin Magnussen, surprisingly, gets in the points with 9th, and Romain Grosjean there as well, so those two must be pretty happy with that. In the Driver Championship, it means we stay put behind Massa. Bottas actually jumps Verstappen, surprisingly. So Williams, although I mentioned earlier, it doesn't look like they have great qualifying pace, they're still doing the work to pretty much start to haul in Red Bull, because obviously, as I mentioned plenty of times, and you would have seen it at the beginning of the episode, Williams are now ahead of Red Bull in the vehicle comparison. So slowly, Williams are reeling Red Bull in and are probably going to get 3rd in the Constructors soon. And we can see we're still behind Toro Rosso in 6th place. So I really want to try and work hard the next few races to try and jump back ahead of Toro Rosso. So I feel like we definitely should be. But obviously, Sainz got that very, very surprising podium in Baku after a crazy race for the AI up there, Azerbaijan. So as we look on after the race, we already had over 1,000 resource points, but now we've got 1,120, and that's before we even see our first driver bonus, which comes in handy as well. So we are going to be rolling in the resource points right now. 1,193. Can't even look at numbers right now. But nearly 1,200 there. So that's quite a lot of points. Not going to be enough to get us 2 upgrades, I don't think, unfortunately, because the engine upgrade is going to cost us 900. So we're going to spend the tokens on the second engine upgrade because we really do need some straight line speed. But I think the next upgrade we're going to look at might be the drag reduction or the downforce. Going to have to see what comes of it, but that upgrade's going to have to wait till after the Hungarian Grand Prix. But for the Hungarian Grand Prix, we're going to upgrade the crankshaft and we're going to get some power there. So hopefully that will show through in the pace at Hungary. Obviously Hungary is a downforce circuit, but it's still going to help on the long pit straights there. So guys, if you have enjoyed the episode, smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. I hope you enjoyed the day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.